come from Bulgaria. I'm 24 years old. And these days, nobody cares about the boring standard application letter that he gets 200 times per day. Nobody, and nobody reads it anymore. You have to distinguish yourself in some way. You have to be creative, and because of my other approach, I would say is my curiosity and openness to new possibilities, new jobs, and I try to always search for different fields and never limit myself to just this is my dream job, that should be it. No. You have to reach a certain level. You have some steps to go through until you reach that perfect job. And the third thing, which is really important, is the voluntary jobs and building your network. And I would recommend that to everybody in Denmark. Go volunteer as much as you can. I don't know how many of you have heard about Buffer. This is a social media platform for scheduling tweets or Facebook updates or LinkedIn updates. It's just one place that you schedule it in advance. And I use that tool a lot in my daily work. And I schedule tweets. So I decided, okay, if I want to apply for them, why not sending them an application with tweets, with something that they're familiar with? And I did it in exactly the same layout as it would look like in there too. So you can see it here, it's something totally different. I'm pretty sure no one else did that ever before. But I didn't get the job, but they're quite big. I think they have about 10 million users already worldwide. So you can imagine the size of the company. I wasn't surprised not getting the job, but still it was an attempt, and I'm proud of it because I think I was really creative in that case. And I would recommend all kinds of creativity that you can come up with. Just avoid the, hi, my name is, I really like your company, please take me to work with you. No, that doesn't work anymore. Another thing that I would recommend to all of you is to use a tool to visualize your CV. And there are plenty already on the market. I just Googled it, but you can see I used the re.view website and visualize.me. They're really, really simple to use. You just add in your details. And then I personally included the link to my visual resume to the signature of my email. And it got attention, because every time you send it, it's something different, something that not many people have in their signature. So people do click, and then they browse through your CV, and it's a way that some employers might actually pay attention to you. And of course, we come to the paragraph 22, which I faced, and you all did, I guess. How can I get a job if I don't have any experience? And how can I build experience if nobody wants to take me to the job? Yay! my favorite thing. And this is where the voluntary jobs come. And this is why I recommend it so much, because I was facing that situation. I was thinking, okay, I have the brains, but I have the skills, but I don't have the experience. And all those school projects, they don't work. If I show my bachelor project to the employer, he doesn't care because it's fake. It's not something real. It's not a real life situation that I solved so that I can show it to him. However, if you actually go and do some voluntary jobs, you do have some experience afterwards, because it's real companies. Especially nowadays, it's plenty of startups that are out there, and they don't hire you as a volunteer because they don't want to hire you as an employee. They just don't have the money yet. And this is the perfect way to prove that you can actually do something and have the skills to develop with the company. And this is how I also build a lot of contacts in the Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship, and there are about 100 startups probably that are there now. And when you know somebody, and if you're not a perfect fit for their company, you could recommend to another company. And this is a place that I would recommend to a lot of people to go and check out, because there are many companies, and they will always take people in because they're in an early stage startups. Last volunteer job I took was a freelance blogger for a tech startup blog. And then I had to write an article about a company, and when I was checking out the company, I saw that it actually had an open position. And I said, okay, I will apply here, why not? I'm anyway writing for them. And I wrote a really nice article, and then I did apply as well. And the boss over there, she actually knew that I wrote the article. She was really happy, so I already had an open line for that job. because I did something for her. So she decided to do something for me as well, and she invited me on an interview right away. And this is what I do right now, actually. This is my current position. So this was just an untraditional way to get into. And of course, you won't discover all those jobs unless you click. So for me, it's all about curiosity. You have to click around. You have to be active. You shouldn't expect that all those things that you see in job index are all the jobs out there. No, plenty of companies they don't even list the jobs on their website, not to mention on those job platforms. So be curious. I know it's easier to say than do, but be curious and click around as much as you can. I always advise people to go discover some groups, and there are plenty of groups right now for jobs in Denmark, jobs in Copenhagen. I listed some of them here, but I'm pretty sure it's really easy to search for them. And those groups are active, and people are posting job openings over there. So it's also a way for you to discover, and you can manage your notifications just to get the updates from those groups and check them daily. And of course, the most important thing is go to events. That's my biggest recommendation, and the fact that you're here tonight proves that you think so as well. But how to discover those events? Okay, meetups.com is a great platform for that. There are plenty of subgroups that it depends on your interests that you can sign up for and get updates as well. You can get weekly notifications like a newsletter. Depending on where you joined, and this is just an example. The list went like I don't know, maybe 10 pages, maybe more. Another source for events is Internations, which is an international organization for all kinds of people, like really all kinds of people. I recently signed up for that, and I've been to only one event, one of their big events. There's a small fee here every time, which is different from the meetups, because most of the meetups events are free. But it's you just have to check. It's never too expensive. That's what I would say. The year membership for those guys, Internations, it costs 500 kron, which allows you to become like a gold member and access all the events for 20 krona or something. Otherwise, it's 100. So I would say it's worth it if you attend a lot of events. If you don't, then it's not. So just check it out before you sign up, and then you decide for yourself. But there are plenty of all kinds of events here. It's from personal networking to professional networking to just a huge mess of newcomers to the city. The last thing for events is Expat in Denmark, and I'm pretty sure you might have heard about it. It's also a good idea to like their Facebook page, because when you scroll down you just get updates as well, and sometimes you forget to check the website. And another thing is just to sign up for their newsletter, and I think it's weekly, and you get a snapshot of what's coming for the next week. And a few pieces of advice for going to events. I would say many people might say the opposite, but I would say that you need to go alone, because otherwise you always stick to your buddy, and you limit the amount of people you talk to. At least that's what always happens to me. If you go alone, you don't have a choice. You can't sit in the corner. You just have to go and talk to people. And this is what happened to me in the last event when I went. I was totally alone. I was bored, so I had to go and talk to people, and I did, and it was really nice at the end. Go early if it's like an open networking event without a theme and speakers. Go early so that people don't get too drunk, and because then it's totally different environment. Then they tend to group up, and then it gets unprofessional. It depends on your interest, of course, but I always prefer to go a bit early to professional events, if that's my goal. Yeah, bring a smart device or a business card. I know you might not have any, but you can be creative and just come up with your name or something. If you have the budget for it, you can have 100 business cards. And when you start the conversation with somebody, usually they ask you, what do you do? And if you don't have a job, of course, you will say you don't have a job. But I would suggest that instead of saying, yeah, I'm unemployed, stating right away that you expect something from that person, you just say, okay, I do that and that and that. Those are my skills and my qualifications. And then you add, but you know, at the moment I don't do anything, but that's life. And if you feel that there is a chemistry at some point of the conversation, and without just leaving like that and forgetting about the person, ask him for his contact right away. Ask him for his LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. Get your device and add him at the moment you speak to him. And this is really important, because otherwise you forget. And if you get the business card, then okay, you might write to him the next day, but the chances of that are really low. And follow up as soon as possible, the next day, preferably. If it's a Friday evening, of course you won't follow up at 1 o'clock in the morning. But write to him, hey, remember we met, depending on what you talked about. But if it's someone who promised to help you out with something, with a contract, with whatever, just bring the message right up. Hey, you mentioned doing that for me, can you do that? And be nice to people. You can't like everyone, of course. The last thing is just to smile, of course. Be open, be nice to people, talk to them, and don't be afraid to do that. When you approach people, you always have to keep it short and simple, because they are busy. And the fact that they don't come back to you, it doesn't mean that they don't like you, they don't want to talk to you, they don't care about what you said. No, they're just busy. And if you like a particular company, but you haven't seen a job opening or anything, even if you did, just go and find the employees who work there on LinkedIn. It's really easy, and the next speaker is going to talk a lot about LinkedIn. I guess he will suggest that as well. But for me, it's really easy. Just type the name of the company, find the people who work there, find the relevant person, HR, or if you're I don't know, if you're a legal person, then find the legal guy. Doesn't matter. Just find the regular person and connect with him. Be human. Explain to him, hey, I'm applying here. Ask him a question. What's the atmosphere in the company? Just express some interest, and then he will 90% come back to you, because there's no reason he doesn't. Why not? You just find a way to stand above all the other applicants, because if they have 100, if you did connect with that guy, and then his voice matters when they decide who to take, he will remember, hey, but that person, I actually talked to him on LinkedIn before that. Or he followed me on Twitter, or he commented on my Google Plus update, or something. If you search for the guy, this is a bit spooky with Googling names, but they do that for your name, so why don't you do it for them as well? If you find that he's active on some other platform, then engage with him over there. But just don't do that on Facebook. I would say that most of the people prefer to keep their Facebook private. And it's just the browsing through the groups that I use. Even if you find the person over there who posted the job, go find them on LinkedIn and connect with him there. Don't bother people on Facebook with professional stuff if they don't know you, because then they feel a bit annoyed, irritated. And it's the same with Skype, because sometimes you can see the Skype ID listed on LinkedIn, but it's also, I think it's a very bad idea to just go and add people there. Instead, you have to reach that stage. You have to have an agreement. Okay, can we talk on Skype? And he should give you the name. Don't be afraid to ask for favors. If you find, if you know somebody in the company, but you like if you met someone tonight and you know that you've seen on LinkedIn that he knows someone from some company, then just say, hey, can you please introduce me to that person? Just straight ahead. And in 90% of the cases, people do respond and they do it. You just have to be really precise and not take any more of 5 minutes of their time. It has to be straight ahead. I want to contact that person for that matter. Bye. And if you met one time, it's a good idea to remind the person where you met and who you are, because you know they have 1,000 contacts. Be smart. Yeah, easy to say. Post relevant updates to LinkedIn frequently. It's very dependent on the field of work you are into, but of course there are articles in any kind of industry. So just find what you think is interesting and share it. Don't be afraid of sharing it. When you read something really valuable, then share it and add your opinion about it. Add a question. What do you think? Even if you have 100 contacts, then if 30 people see it and 2 like it, then the contacts of those 2 will see it too. And then some people might say, hey, but I need to check that person's profile. Why not? Who is that person? I get my profile checked like that all the time because I like stuff all the time on LinkedIn. And when you like as well, it's like sharing because it shows on your newsfeed. Check who viewed your profile frequently because this is, for me, in many cases, this is how I suggest very relevant people. I know for a free account you're not allowed to see the whole list, but you see maybe 10 or 20 people who checked your profile. And you check their profiles back because then they will see that you did as well. And if you think it's someone really relevant for you, then just add him. Never with the standard message, of course, please add him to your network. No, that doesn't work. Just write something short. Hey, I think you're interesting. I think we have a common interest or whatever. And just add the person. The last tip, when you send job applications, there is a very good plugin right now called Signals from HubSpot. It's free up until 200 notifications. When you send an email, it sends you a notification if the person opened it and when and how many times, which for me is brilliant. I would say it's Big Brother, but if you see that you send an application and nobody opened it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then call the guys and say, hey, of course don't tell them, I know that you didn't open my email. I guess that will be normal in 2 months because this is really new. This is like 2-3 weeks old, maybe a bit more, I don't know. But say, hey, did you read my application? Be gentle. But it's a really cool way, I think. This is really nice.